Today's date is Monday, April 25th, 2022, and I'm sitting in for the mayor. He has been called away on some family matters, and I believe Commissioner Robish is out of town. Pauline, would you take the roll call, please?
Smith.
Here.
Rice.
Here.
Craig.
Here.
Commissioner Roberts is absent and here.
Have the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will now discuss agenda approval. There are 3 items on the agenda that are going to be deferred until next week. Those items are 3.1, which is a variance, 3.2, which is also a variance, and then the work session, which is 11.1. That work session has to do with the solid waste department. If there's no other changes, could I get a motion to approve?
I would move to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Rice.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye. Public forum, just as with all meetings, we do offer the ability to have public forum for the citizens. Public comments may be sent during the live meeting broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. The link is listed on the city's website at www.huronsd.com/city-government. In order to use the YouTube chat feature, please create an account with YouTube and Gmail or use your existing accounts. Please state your name and address for the record. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Is there anyone in the audience that's here for public forum? If not, we will move forward, and staff will be checking emails or public comment throughout the meeting. We have a proclamation for Arbor Week, April 25th through 29th, and I was instructed to read the proclamation. I'm reading this as in third person with Mayor Harrington signing it. So, whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting of trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products, and whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community, and whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. And whereas in 2021, Huron was recognized as Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation for the 40th year, and desires to continue its tree planting practices. Now be it resolved that I, Gary Harrington, Mayor of the City of Huron, South Dakota, do hereby proclaim April 25th through the 29th, 2022 as Arbor Week in the City of Huron. I also urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day on April 29th, 2022, and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Chad, you are here to represent the Parks and Rec, who is influential and kind of oversees the arbor responsibility of the city, so here you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving on to the consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. 6.1, minutes of April 18, 2022 minutes. 6.2, fuel quotes for city departments. 6.3, parade permit filed by the Huron Chamber and Visitors Bureau for July 4th, contingent on approval with the South Dakota DOT for the use of Dakota Avenue. Personnel items, recommending hiring Emma Hayter to the Broadland Creek Pro Shop position. Recommend hiring Linda Eck to the Memorial Pro Shop position. Recommend hiring Taylor Sorensen for the firefighter position. Wage correction for Jillian Reno, lifeguard. Wage correction for Noelle Nemers to be a trim crew leader. And finally, recommend hiring summer help for the Parks and Rec Department. Final item on consent is payment of the bills. Is there a motion to approve the consent?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Pauline, call the roll.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Gregg.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye. Bid quote items. Item 7.1, consider change order number 5 by Gridor Construction, Inc. for bid number 2021-05, Phase 1 wastewater treatment facility improvements for a net increase of $12,989. Dennis, do you have,
I'm going to defer this one to Mr. Rodriguez.
okay?
So, yeah, this is change order number 5 for our wastewater treatment project. And it's to put in a line stop. We came across a line that was active, that was supposed to be abandoned in a previous
Surprise.
project. Surprise. And at the wastewater plant, that's not a surprise you like to come across.
Yeah.
So we had to come up with a plan to stop the line and plug it, and thus the change order for 12,000 something. We request the approval.
Is there a motion to approve or deny the request?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions?
Really, I mean, so is this, there's not anybody we can go after and say, hey, you messed this up,
I came across an old set of plans that has it written in red pen, abandoned but left in service. I don't know what that means.
Perfect.
It means that there's still bad stuff in the line. So it's been done, and
Saved pennies years ago, cost us $13,000.
yeah, we saved a few dollars 30, 40 years ago, and it cost us 12 today.
And a few extra showers, I'm guessing.
It wasn't terrible, but it ain't never a good day.
All right. Pauline, would you call, any further questions from the commission? Pauline, the roll call, please.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Gregg.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye. Petitions and communications, public hearing, home occupation permit filed by April Pimentel, project address 481 3rd Street Southeast, to operate a small engine, including lawnmowers, mini bikes, weed eaters, etc., as a repair business in an area zoned R4 multifamily residential district. Barry, can you?
Yep, this
Lead us
is an application, I believe you, the gentleman in the back here, part of the, if you wanna come up and just state your name, please, and your address.
My name is Jesus, the address is 841 3rd Street Southeast.
Okay. And so they are operating they're applying to operate a home-based business there to sell and repair small engines like mowers and things. And so One of the things that kind of brought it to our attention is they had put all of the mowers and things were out in the right of way, and so we notified them that they needed to go through this process and then move the mowers that were there, right, and they immediately moved everything so that they were in compliance. And so now they're going through the process. They were unaware they needed to get a home-based business license or a home occupation permit, and so they're doing that now. And so it sounds like you found a place to do the repair and
Yeah, we found a
down by
location.
Al's
Yep.
place, down south at the Alpena corner, basically, Al's corner. And so they'll be doing most of the repair at that location because there's too much outside storage. And so they'll be doing that down there and then using the Huron location for a sales location. So the hearing examiner went through that. I was unfortunately unable to be there because I was out of town, but in talking with Julie, she said that the hearing examiner recommended approval with the condition that they be allowed no more than 4 units at a time because it's such a small lot.
Yeah.
And I understand there's no problem with that.
No.
Okay, so.
4 units total.
Total, right. And that's a previous standard from when we did Bubba's up there on Third and Lincoln.
Okay.
So we would recommend approval, as does the hearing examiner.
And I would move to approve the variance.
Second.
Motion and a second. Do you have anything to add to it?
No.
To that? Okay, and just for clarification, our agenda shows 481 for the.
481 Third Street South.
Okay, that is.
That is the
That's a
location.
correct.
Okay, I may have said 418. If I did,
Okay.
I apologize. But, no comment from city, or excuse me.
No, we had
from-
no comments. About 30 of the adjacent homeowners were notified by mail, and public notice was made, and we had no comment in opposition to it.
Okay. Any further questions from the commission?
No, as you noted, this was consistent to what we previously done.
Mhm.
Okay. Pauline, would you call the vote, please?
Weinreich,
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye. Thank you.
We'll stick that in the mail out to you, so you've got a certificate for it.
All right, thank you.
You bet, thank you for coming.
Ordinances and resolutions, 9.1, resolution number 2022-08, amended memorandum of understanding with Dakota provisions regarding wastewater treatment and surcharge rates. Tucker, would you just reemphasize what that's all about?
Yep, thank you, Commissioner. This is the amended memorandum of understanding, as was discussed previously. We had initially rolled back the surcharge rates that were being charged to Dakota provisions until the middle of this year. This simply extends that rollback to January 1st, 2023, and that's the only.
And that has been signed and authorized through Dakota provisions.
Yep, they have signed.
Is there a motion to approve that or deny that?
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the amended memorandum of understanding. Any further questions or comments from the commission?
Just if I could follow up from our previous conversation, this was the extra time was more about getting the study in place, and then the fact that with the reduction in their kill rates, the study was not going to be accurate. So it was, in case anybody wasn't part of that previous discussion, that was the reasoning behind it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that, Commissioner Gregg. Okay, we'll call the vote.
Weinreich,
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye. The only other thing has been deferred for a week, and that was Solid Waste Department. They're going to have a work session for us tonight, but that has been deferred